This is the 80s Show on iHeartRadio.
Let's go. Say ho, ho. Say ho, whoa, ho, whoa. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
So, I don't know how much belief you have in yourself, but I can almost categorically guarantee that you should have more. And this is not misplaced arrogance. This is not boastful bragging. This is not making up for some sort of insecurity that you've got. You should have genuine confidence in yourself that you can do more than you think is possible. I don't mean to start today like a motivational speaker. I'm not. Most motivational speakers would be all like, you have greatness within you. You are so much. No. Chances are, let's be real here. Statistically speaking, you probably don't have greatness in you. You're probably wildly average. There's a reason average is called average. Because, well, it's the average. That means what most people are. In most ways, you're probably average. You're probably not exceptional. So why do I say you should believe in yourself more than you believe in yourself currently? Well, for the sole reason that I believe in myself. It's not because I think I'm such an effing genius or so gifted or so talented. It's because all around me, every single day, I see brainless, talentless, booger-eating, moron, idiot, scumbag retards. In some cases, and I'm not using that word retard facetiously, I actually work with some folks where I'm like, you're the dumbest human being I've ever met. Like literally the dumbest human being I've ever met. I've got to imagine there's some sort of like, some touch of retardation going on. Some touch of, was it fetal alcohol syndrome? Shaken? I don't know. But I work with people that are extremely successful, who are idiots, who have managed to fail upwards, who have managed to make a career out of being morons. I think there's this thing where you think, oh, well, they do this. They know the secret. They've got something going on that I don't. No, they don't. They're idiots. The difference between them and you is they put themselves out there and tried. Maybe because they're too stupid to have doubts in themselves. Intelligent folks tend to weigh situations over, tend to look at it, evaluate from a bunch of different angles. If you're an evaluator, you're probably way smarter than the people that go, oh, just try it, why not? And I have to say, after having taken stock of the situation in my industry and in many other people's industries, the vast majority of people that I run into on a daily basis are idiots. Just total effing morons. They're successful. Why not you? Just try. Do. Be. You try something, you do it, then all of a sudden you're it. You ever see that episode of Seinfeld where George is all intimidated? I know Seinfeld isn't necessarily the greatest life lesson provider on the face of the planet because it's Seinfeld. It's a TV show, and as much as I try and as much as I'm unsuccessful at discerning the difference between television and real life sometimes, let's be real here, Seinfeld isn't a great place to learn the life lessons, but there was one thing that stuck with me about George. George was an idiot that failed upwards. You remember that episode where he's like, I can't go in there. I can't be around them. They're real men, Jerry. They're real men with jobs. And then all of a sudden, through a series of flukes, he's the traveling secretary to the New York Yankees. Has a highfalutin real person's job, which he's trying to get rid of because someone's trying to woo him away to work for the New York Mets. It's true. And as much as that's television, as much as television is not real life, what is very reflective of reality in that particular situation is I meet morons that have failed upwards every single day. And if not, if them, why not you? Seriously. And I'll say it again. The only difference between the vast majority of people that succeed and the people that sit at home not succeeding, not thinking, not daring to dream outside of whatever the hell life hands them, is the fact that I think the successful people are willing to put themselves out there. Maybe they're too stupid to doubt themselves. It's like I said, an intelligent person will weigh the situation over. We'll look at it from every angle, assess it, go like, oh, I don't deserve that. No, you probably don't deserve that. But guess what? Neither do most of the people doing that, whatever the hell that is. The difference is the defining difference is you have to get out there. You have to try. You have to be too stupid to be worried about all the logical reasons that say you can't do something. You really can. And not because you're gifted and talented. You don't require gifts. You don't require talent. You just require the ability to put yourself out there. You just require the ability to try. The ability to, all right, maybe you're too smart. You're probably too smart to be stupid enough to not realize that you're not cut out for something that you really want. And if you're not stupid enough, then you have to be able to forget. You have to be able to forget your fear of failure. You have to recognize. You have to take stock of people that are in positions of power that you aspire to and go, well, okay, let's look at this situation. They're an idiot. If them, why not me? The only reason why not you is because you haven't tried yet. So go out, try, put yourself out there, attempt to become CEO of a major corporation. Look at Fiorina, presidential hopeful. Managed to fail upwards and become president of photocopiers. Then got fired because the company she was running floundered. Got a golden parachute of $20 million. Now is taking a stab at being president of the United States of America. She's been way more powerful and successful than anyone of her looks or intellect should have been. That could be you. They're successful, why not you? Try it, do it, be it. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Helen Keller, The Open Door. Someone who actually, to be fair, was great.
Two-seater fleeter, it's you and the senorita. Woofer blowing up the tweeter, cause it's me up in the speaker. Knocking the mama seater top down like a player. And the sound up in your ears, it is the dopest rhyme say. I run a game like a cheater, I'm balling like they're a cheater. Complete on the marathon, I mean the very last meter. Competition defeated, cause yo, my voice is just sweeter. So come on, follow the leader, plus I got the dopest of sneakers. Fuck the rest, I'm the best, there's no question. Fuck the rest and you know. Fuck the rest, I'm the best, there's no question. Are you ready to go? One thing you gotta know, let me just bear with me on your radio. One thing you gotta know, let me just bear with AD on your radio. On your radio. On your radio. Fuck the false modesty, nobody has ever been better, smarter, more clever. I'm winning every endeavor in competition, no you never see a better competitor. Every fight of vendetta, till a head has been severed. I'm the best that there is, I wake up and piss excellence. And if you're coming to battle on your house, I put up excellence. I'm just here to have a little fucking fun, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm second to none. Fuck the rest, I'm the best, there's no question. Fuck the rest and you know. Fuck the rest, I'm the best, there's no question. Are you ready to go? One thing you gotta know, let me just bear with me on your radio. One thing you gotta know, let me just bear with AD on your radio. On your radio. Fuck the rest, I'm the rest, there's no question. Fuck the rest and you know. Fuck the rest, I'm the best, there's no question. Are you ready to go? I'm just here to have a little fucking fun, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm so second to none. Fuck the rest, I'm the best, there's no question. Are you ready to go? One thing you gotta know, let me just bear with me on your radio. One thing you gotta know, let me just bear with AD on your radio.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. This is Concept 714, host of WakeTheFlock.net, the #1 hip hop podcast in the world. You are now listening to AD on your radio.
Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD, and can't nobody rock a body better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD, and can't nobody rock a body better than me. Hey, you, what's that sound? Coming so loud from your radio dial. AD, be getting down when you're rocking the jams. Here I am, going back once again, I'm ruling.
Yes. Here we are back in the saddle again. We had yesterday off because Funkhauser was a busy little beaver. doing radio greatness on an international and global scale. What were you up to over the weekend, Funkhauser?
Metallica! No, Rock in Rio concert in Vegas. It's a 2-day weekend festivity event, and we are broadcasting it live on the iHeartRadio Rock in Rio channel. So I'm in this room pushing buttons for 12 hours.
When you say you're working the Rock in Radio Metallica iHeartRadio, Rock in Rio iHeartMedia Metallica broadcast, it sounds really cool. Was it as cool, just sitting there pressing buttons?
Well, I thought it was pretty cool because they would email me their the set lists of all the bands, and these set lists were the same set lists that they duct tape to the stage in front of the musicians. So they have their chicken scratches on it and stuff. So that was pretty cool, and there was some cool bands. Ended the night with Metallica, yeah. And Rise Against is there, one of my favorite bands. This weekend it's pop, so Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift and
You know what's awesome about Rise Against that I've noticed about them? Well, besides everything, like, they're really, really political. I think Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine has said about Rise Against that, politically speaking, they're the closest thing in terms of ideology to Rage Against the Machine that's around. And
only the smart ones survive. They survived.
Well, but they're also sort of like, no doubt whatsoever, they are extraordinarily left-leaning, and they are musicians that have a purpose and a message and all of the above, and they're straight-edge, punk rock, vegan anarchists that want to overthrow the government and all of the above. The anarchist part I couldn't guarantee, but they're extremely left-leaning, and they're straight-edge, and they're punk rock, and they're vegan, and they're anti-establishment for sure. I love the fact that there was an interesting case with them at a festival, a radio station festival in Florida, where they refused to play. I think they were, if they weren't the headliners, they were one of the last bands on the bill, because they've been up in the game for several years now, and they refused to play. And the reason they refused to play was because there was Army recruitment going on there. Army recruitment's a very big client for a lot of radio stations, and they're like, hey, we want to make this 100% clear. We absolutely support every last person that is in the U.S. military. We 100% lend our support to anybody brave enough to be willing to put their lives on the line for our freedom and to protect us. What we cannot agree with or abide with or be a part of is anything that Army recruitment has anything to do with. They're like, the way these kids are lured into a life in the Army, and basically it's what we say on this show all the time. You go, you get shot at, you get blown up, you put your life on the line. Sometimes you lose your life. And there's this idea that you're sold that there's going to be heroes welcome waiting for you when you get home, and you're going to be looked after. You're going to be looked after in terms of you're going to school, or you're buying a house with a VA loan, or your medical needs are going to be looked after. But that's not the case in any way, shape, or form. 2 out of 3 homeless people in America are former veterans. What does that say about how you're looked after when you're done being in the military? Not very much. And that is the problem Rise Against have with Army recruitment. They're like, you're luring kids into this situation under completely false pretenses. Be real about it. Don't lie to them. It's shady as hell. And so
please stop playing Godsmack as a soundtrack.
Oh, God. Yeah. And they oh, look, another $1 million and another one album. But they were just like, they showed up to this festival, which is a very big festival, and it was for a very key pivotal rock station in Florida, where rock is a big deal. And they're like, hey, there's Army recruitment here. We as Rise Against won't be a part of this, and they bailed on the show. They said they weren't told that this was going to be part of it. It wasn't in line with their ethics and their morals. And most bands would suck it up. Most bands would be on that corporate Johnson long and hard. Most bands would go, ooh, this is our career, and oh, yeah, we're just going to have to bend our principles a little bit. Not Rise Against. They bailed. And I don't know what the fallout was of it, but it was a real act of principle on their part. And what's funny about Rise Against is the fact that I remember when I was interviewing Tim from Rise Against, maybe we'll air that interview on the show one day. I was like, it's funny because I've got some right-wing talk radio buddies down the hall that love your band. And he was like, really? Do they know? And I was like, well, that was my point. I was like, politically speaking, you and Rise Against couldn't be more diametrically opposed. And this buddy of mine, this right-wing talk dude, was like, yeah, I just love that they stand for something. And I love that about Rise Against. They stand for something. And I think old Tim, when I was talking